Lancashire.
Assembly Member Best.
Thank you, Chair. Good morning, Mr Mayor. Last month, I asked you specifically whether you were going to consult or speak with the Chancellor regarding the leaked plans on pay per mile. You said then that you would stand up to this government if it tries to introduce pay per mile in London. Have you had those conversations now?
I didn't need to, because when I looked at the plans, what the government's considering is a version of road tax for those who've got electric cars. So
no, Mr Mayor, when last month, and you can't move the goalpost now, which I, funnily enough, had money on you doing, but you can't move the goalpost now. I asked you about, if someone had taken the bet, I would have put it all on. You can't move the goalpost now, because last month I asked you about Rachel Reeves' leaked policy. Right? It was in black and white what we meant. You didn't say, but if it's this policy, I don't mind. You said no to that policy. You said no to pay per mile, and now you are backtracking, if that is what I hear correctly from you today.
I think there's a misunderstanding. The government is not introducing pay per mile.
The government is introducing pay per mile. It's literally, when you drive a mile, you pay for the mile, hence the phrase would be pay per mile you drive.
Well, let's wait and see what the Chancellor's plans are. As I've said,
the Chancellor has literally said she is bringing in pay per mile. Unless you believe that London does not exist in England and Wales, then that scheme will affect us. That means there will be pay per mile in London, something you said would never happen under your mayoralty, and something that you said only last month when you knew what the plans looked like. You said, I will stand up to this government if it tries to introduce pay per mile. Stand by your word, stand by Londoners.
Okay, my understanding is that what the government's considering is from 2028 introducing a vehicle excise duty for those electric cars that currently don't pay vehicle excise.
And how would it be deduced? How would they deduce what they pay?
The way it's produced is you charge vehicle excise duty for those electric cars.
No. How will they deduce how much the vehicles will pay?
Okay. I'd like to ask them, how does she think they're going to make sure every car has got a system?
I'm asking you, Mr Mayor, as many people have pointed out to you, it is Mayor's question time. I'm asking on this, how will they decide how much those owners pay? Can I help you? Would it by chance be by mile?
As I've just explained, the way they're going to do it is charge a vehicle excise duty fee for those vehicles that are zero emission. I'm more than happy for the member to write to me and set out how she thinks it will come in. I can then send that to the government and ask them for their views on what the member thinks the scheme may be. I'm quite clear in relation to a scheme in 2028 that may come.
What I'm interested in is why you stood on a manifesto that said no pay per mile in London, why you sat here in 2023 and told me no pay per mile in London, why last month I said, hey, there's these leaked plans that tell you exactly what pay per mile looks like in London, and you said, yes, I will stand against those, and yet you stand here today and say, actually, it's all good. That's what I'm interested in.
Well, as I sit here today, I'll repeat again, I've got no plans to bring in pay per mile. I'm quite clear. Pay per mile is not coming in from TfL as long as I'm mayor. The member's referring to the plans the government may have in 2028. I'm more than happy to look at the government's plans if they are the same as the member is saying, and look into them. My understanding is they're not as the member is saying.
Thank you, Chair.
Just thinking through.
I think the Mayor is
just
confused.
thinking through how it happened. I don't understand how you could have individualised pay per mile by 2028. But I'm more than happy to take it away and look into it.
Right, Assembly Member McCartney.
Yes, thank you. And I think it's a shame that the Conservatives seeking their questioning to put a limit on the aspirations and opportunities of young people in our city. And I'm glad that you're not doing that. But can I ask about another way that you're standing up for Londoners and being on their side? And that's your success in lobbying for a tourist levy, a visitor levy to our city that will bring in new investment. But can I ask you, what opportunities does this new levy pose for Londoners?
So can I thank the member for raising this really important issue in relation to seeing what other cities across the globe do, whether it's Paris, Amsterdam, New York, Venice, and I could go on, where they charge an additional small fee to those of us tourists who go to the respective cities. And one of the things I've been lobbying for since 2016 I've lost count of the number of Conservative chancellors I've had during that period. But the first chancellor we had in this Labour government, we've been successful in persuading her to devolve to, not just us, by the way, other mayors across the country should get this and will get this, the ability to levy this tourist levy. We're going to work closely with hospitality sector, tourism sector, councils and others to get the best possible scheme designed, to work with them about what the levy should be, how it will be collected, how it will be spent. But just imagine the potential to improve the public realm, to improve the offer for tourists, to improve public transport that supports tourism, but also not just focused on central London, important though it is, but think about outer London. How can we help outer London in terms of improving the tourist offer? So I'm really excited about this piece of good news. Like I said, lobbying since 2016. We're going to work closely with those key partners to make sure we get the best scheme possible.
Thank you, and I'm glad you mentioned Outer London there, because in my constituency of Haringey in Enfield, for example, we have the wonderful Bruce Castle and Park, and in Haringey and in Enfield, Forty Hall, for example, well worth a visit from central London. So you will be standing up and trying to make sure that some of the funding is spread out across our city, not just stay in central London.
You'll be aware of the importance of the 2028 Euros and the stadium in your patch. The Spurs Stadium is hosting games, but also the London Borough of Culture in 2027 as well. So we get the importance of investing in all parts of our city. That's why the work we do with the councils is so important. I had a brief chat last week with the chair of the councils, Claire Holland, and we're really excited to be working together again on this, but also really importantly the hospitality sector and the tourism sector as well. They've got to see what's in it for them, and it's really important.